is an independently produced community access program. The viewpoints expressed are those of the community access producer and do not reflect those of Shaw Cable Systems. The program is presented in response to CRTC policy guidelines regulating community programming.
Welcome to another edition of Kerby Centre's Successful Aging. We've really enjoyed a myriad of topics about successful aging, and today we're going to talk about one that's very dear to a lot of hearts. We're going to talk about diversity. It's really, really important when we're talking about successful aging that we make sure we are inclusive, that we're thinking about all the people in our community. And it's absolutely my pleasure today, while talking about diversity, is to have Sybil and Lisa join us. Thank you so much. Welcome to you both.
Hi.
It's a pleasure having you here today. And just so we get started, tell us a little bit about who you are, where you work.
Hi, like you said, my name is Sybil Braganza. I work at the City of Calgary, and I'm a social worker. I've been with the city for the past 11 years.
And so you have a lot to do with diverse seniors?
Yes, so I started off working with immigrant and refugee seniors right from the start, and were very successful in getting funding and developed a resource guide called Cultural Cues to help service providers as well as other professionals on how to work and have cultural competency with immigrant and refugee seniors.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
And honestly, you're so well known in the city, and I know that you're very busy. So thanks for taking the time to come in and do the show.
My pleasure.
And Lisa, it's a pleasure to have you join us as well. And talk a little bit about the organization you belong to.
I work for the Calgary Chinese Elderly Citizens Association. I'm the executive director there. I actually joined them about 20 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah, and I was told by my senior that I have really a good luck, because I bring them a center. I joined them after a year that we moved into the Calgary Chinatown Senior Center. So we basically have our senior center in Chinatown. That's why we call it the Chinatown Senior Center. I think a lot of people see our center as their home, a home that they can do whatever they like. They can seek help. They can have fun, they can sing and, being a little bit crazy, with their friends and stuff.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, and also I think they can also learn new skills. And also learn about our culture, and also learn about how to be, work, really doing some volunteer work too. Because some of my seniors told me that they never do volunteer work in their home country. This is something new for them. But I think what we really believe that when they settle in, they know the system and everything, it's time for them to contribute, and also really to learn some skill, work with your peers, and then have a very good experience.
That's fantastic. And Lisa, 20 years supporting and advocating for people that are aging in the community and have diverse cultures. What a gift you've been to the community. Thank you for all you've done.
Mm-hmm. I really enjoy it because I think I learn a lot from the seniors. Not only in my own community, I think I learned from a lot of seniors that I work with, in different projects, and also like what Sybil say, we work with a lot of different cultural diverse seniors. That I think that is good, and I really like my work because our work, the fun part, and also we really can help very vulnerable populations that they really don't know where to go, where to get the resources, and where to get the benefits of housing and transportation. That is that really make my day always there to help them to get what they need.
That's excellent.
Yeah.
I think that, as a service sector, that there's a lot of different services out there for people. But it's not always comfortable for those that don't speak the language or come from a different culture and don't really feel comfortable entering into, I guess, mainstream senior services. Would that be fair? Would you say that, Sybil?
Yeah, we were just discussing about it because I think Lisa's organization is such a model, such a best practice in the city, and we know a lot of the ethnocultural groups are trying to model after that and have resources put in place, because it's so important to have somebody who can speak to your own language with somebody who can understand your culture. We were also speaking about one of our seniors who's from the Korean community, that how she volunteers and goes into seniors' homes, and was saying, wouldn't it be nice to have an outreach worker? Wouldn't it be nice to have a space like the Chinese seniors? And we hear that from all the other cultural groups, is how wonderful it is to have a building of your own, that you feel welcome and feel wanted. So I think a lot of the cultural groups, the ethnocultural groups in Calgary, are striving to have that kind of facility and a place that they can even call a second home.
I agree totally. Within the city of Calgary, would you say that generally speaking, seniors, older adults from diverse communities are connected and well served, or is there still a lot of work to be done?
Definitely there are a lot of gaps, and like we said, the biggest gap is language barriers. Seniors not knowing how to speak English, and we also know that when you come to a different country, you want to settle down, learning another language is very, very difficult when you're older. And for seniors that are not illiterate in their own language and haven't been to a classroom setting, it's very difficult to learn a new language. So definitely language barriers are I guess an aspect that limits them from accessing services. And if they have to rely on family and children to do the interpretation, and when they access health services as well as social services, it creates a burden on the family members as well as the seniors, because then we've noticed that they don't come for their appointments, and they miss going for some of their appointments where they don't have somebody to help them with language interpretation.
I'm sure, Lisa, that you see that quite a bit. Does English as a second language help?
I think, as what Sybil say, it's very difficult when you are of a certain advanced age to learn a different language when you're illiterate in your own language. And I see, actually, I really remember a joke that we run ESL classes in our center, and one of the granddaughter phoned me. I said, why my grandmom cannot speak to me in English? Like, she's been with you guys in the ESL class for about a year. And I just laughed with her. I said, do you think that your grandma is happy? Is she happy? Yes, she said, yeah, she has a lot of friends now. And then I said, this is the whole point, right? Because it's very difficult for them to master the language. Like, maybe they can speak some little words, but not a lot. But I think the whole point is to get them out of the house, get their friends, get their peer support. I think a lot of the things that they can learn, but not the language. The language is really a barrier. And I think for the family members, if they can be more independent, it's always the goal. But I think it's important that they have their own peer group, they have their own activities that they go to, and then I think between the family and the senior, they really get along better, because they have, everyone have their own circles, everyone have their own world.
Would you say, Lisa, that there's a higher risk of isolation with older adults that only have their home language, and it keeps them away from full engagement in all that Calgary offers?
Yeah, I think I'm just thinking about some of the typical senior that I work with. They might be sponsored by their children, and then they're doing the babysitting job, like Monday to Friday, and then they don't really have a chance to come out to learn and actually to have friends too. So I think that put them in a disadvantage, situation that they really don't have anything that they can go to. They cannot contribute. They cannot participate in a lot of activities that make them isolated. Yeah, so I think if the service providers, maybe within their own Afro-cultural group or other government organization, can provide them meaningful, opportunity for them to contribute, and also maybe just participate, that make their life much easier to adapt and to mingle with other seniors. Like, sometimes I think it's more than language; it's the acceptance about and being together is important too.
I was thinking maybe, Sybil, you could touch on there's a whole mosaic of cultures that live in Calgary. We are, without question, a welcoming, rich city from that perspective. And there is an organization that you belong to and head up that brings the cultures together and talk about common needs and successes. What is that group about?
So I think about 5 years or 6 years ago, there was a group of seniors that wanted to come together and celebrate festivals. So we started calling them the Calgary Connecting Cultural Seniors Festival. And the first year we had like 800 seniors come in from 16 to 20 different cultural groups, and they contributed by volunteering. They did their cultural dances, they dressed, they sang. It was just amazing, and that continued because they were so excited. We used to have that going on for a number of years, and then we sat with the seniors and said, you know, we need to move forward. We need to have some more advocacy. You need to look at how we can change some of the policies that support the programming you want. So after that, we did have a forum where we said, listening to Calgary immigrant seniors and refugees, and we really brought them together to address some of the issues. So we had policymakers and researchers and funders, big funders, come to the table and really talk to them about what was impacting them. We did digital stories, because that stories, when you see something visually, it makes a big impact. So we had 3 stories. One was on elder abuse. One was on the Sudanese seniors' adaptation coming as a refugee, and the third one was on a Polish grandma's contributions to her grandchildren and the community. And we had the next step that we encouraged our seniors to form this Connecting Seniors Cultural Council. And they've been working together, and one of the focuses right now is they do a lot of volunteer work, and they're still looking at applying for funding. And apart from coming together, they each belong to their own cultural group. So it's been rewarding for them because they can share their experiences together.
And I have something to add to you. After the forum, where we formed the Immigrant Senior Advocacy Committee. So I think it's been like going on until now.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah.
And how many groups would belong to that?
I think we have about 6 to 7 different agencies. It can be mainstream and also some immigrant serving agencies, some like my agency. So it's actually, we look at the immigrant seniors' challenges and issues, and then we do something about it. For example, we're talking about housing, you know, housing and also interpretation. Like, so we look at different issues, and we write letters, and they will, like, I think, talk with the politicians to see what can be done, you know, to probably like eliminate the gap, or just to see what we can do to better serve this population.
That certainly brings in the strength and resilience and the satisfaction that people have living not just in Calgary but in Canada with supports, but also being able to stand up for themselves and have a voice and be recognized as contributing people to our great city. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I think so, and I think that takes a lot of work to educate the seniors to speak out, you know, and be their own voice, I would say.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing. We've enjoyed the first half of talking about diversity in Calgary with older adults. We've talked a lot about what's available, and we're going to come back and continue this conversation. We'd like you to come back and join us. We'll see you in a moment. Welcome back. We're going to continue our conversation on diversity. It's absolutely my pleasure to welcome back Sybil and Lisa. How are you doing?
Good.
Good. You know, the first half of this segment has been so interesting, and I want to continue on because I think that when we think about Calgary, we have to remember that there's a large amount of people who Calgary wasn't their first home that really need to be included on all kinds of successful aging topics. And I wonder, Sybil, can you take us through some of the age-friendly work that's being done in Calgary and how that's including the diverse seniors?
Yes, so we're very excited that the Calgary age-friendly senior strategy is underway, and part of it is that we have a seniors age-friendly advisory committee. And the nice thing is that we have a diverse group of seniors. We have seniors from the Chinese community, the Korean community, the Filipino community. We have a number of mainstream seniors, and we also have a good proportion of male and female ratio.
Excellent.
We also have some seniors from the gay and lesbian population, as well as some people from sorry, this is going to be, anyway, so a number of different seniors that are coming together and are very keen to work together with the age-friendly strategy. We have developed a terms of reference and a visioning for it. So.
That's great. It's so important to make sure that they're at the table because, you know, the story is nothing about me without me.
Right.
And it fits no matter who you are in our great city. Nothing about me without me is really, really an
great
important
slogan,
piece.
yeah.
That's great. So I want to talk a little bit about why does someone from a different country as an older adult move to Calgary?
That's a great question, Luanne. I get asked that often. I guess seniors come here, they want to be reunited with their family and their grandchildren, so that's one of the main reasons they come to Canada. They also want to pass on their culture, their traditions, their styles of cooking, and that's very important to keep that going because Calgary truly is a multicultural city. And if they're coming from developing countries, Calgary is really a safe haven for them. They have health care here, it's very safe here, and it does make, if they're given an opportunity to leave some of the war-torn countries or some of the developing countries, this is an opportunity for them to start a new life. So there's so many factors that enable them to come here and make them want to come to Calgary.
That's great. What would you add to that, Lisa?
I think a lot of the time people want to be with their children. You know, some of them only have one child, and then they really, I remember one of the seniors shared with me that he cannot take care of himself, like he cannot really carry heavy things, so now he thinks that it's the best that he can join his son in Calgary. I think a lot of love, a lot of a reunion that keep them here.
Yeah. I think that most moms and dads, no matter how old your kids get to be, want to be somewhere close to their kids.
That's right. That
I
makes a
feel
lot
that
of sense.
way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so cool to have the, you know, to help with the babysitting, and then to just watch their grandchildren to grow up, and then maybe attend important events of their grandchildren. It's very important to them.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
You know, Lisa, it does come with some challenge, though, for sure.
Yes.
Can you talk a little bit about what some challenges are from people that are moving here?
I remember some of the seniors that I work with, they usually only have maybe a child, like a son or daughter in here. So they come here with really, really have only one family here, and then so they're quite isolated, and usually they will help in the house and also raising the grandchildren, and so that is really quite isolated, you know, and most of them really, you know, participate in a lot of family events, and then so they're quite isolated, but some family really bring them out, and then maybe they bring them out to our agency or other places that they get familiar with, you know, the other people, and then they might get to help out with different things, like maybe they need the forms to be filled. So I think we always get that opportunity to get to know them, and like when we get along with them, we'll say that like you can, you know, you can just participate in different kind of activities. So I think that make them their world a little bit bigger, and they have their own social network. So yeah, and I think I encourage the you know, the son or daughter to just bring your mom to other places to get them to have their own friends, and then really it's actually good for the whole family.
That's
because
great.
You know, the grandma is happy, your mom is happy, and then your children will be happy, and the whole family will be happy.
Nice, nice. I guess one of the things that come to my mind is one of the segments that we did on this program is about elder abuse, and it's a difficult conversation sometimes to have, but I would say it's really important to have as well. Do you see a prevalence or a volume of elder abuse associated to the immigrant community?
I can only see for my own communities, because I was quite really a big advocate for elder abuse. We started doing a lot of different programs, like the Skit on the Stage, DVD in 2005. So it's about 9 years now. So I think the whole thing is about educating the seniors to talk to their children. Sometimes it's communication issues that they really even they have really didn't feel well, they need to go to see a doctor. They don't want to burden their family, so they just don't say anything. Actually, I think a better communication between the senior and also their children is important, because I think a lot of the times if you can settle the problems in the very beginning without even waiting for the last minute, that will be solve a lot of issues. And I think that goes a long way. So we encourage the senior to talk to their children or maybe their spouse to resolve whatever problems they might have in between them, and then before the problem get a little bit bigger, that cannot be resolved, because sometimes as much as like, I cannot stay up the night to take care of your children, can you take care of your children at night so I can have good sleep, and in the in the daytime I have a better energy to help with the little one. So I think those very honest conversations need to be happening in the family.
Would you add anything?
I think we've done a lot of videos and audio information for immigrant seniors. In fact, we had a play with the South Asian women that did, they had 6 different scenes about coming to Canada, what are some of the issues they face, and then having that elder abuse component within there. So that education is so important, because sometimes when a child or family member brings a senior in and expects them to do babysitting or other chores, they don't realize that it's some form of abuse. So that education component is so important. And I know that through my work with the City of Calgary before, with Jewish Family Services as well as with the Hispanic seniors, we produced a series of these different videos, and really had it interactive so that the seniors would come up and provide results or suggestions as to how they could improve their life in Canada.
That's fantastic. There's so many resources out there, and we've spoken a little bit about the city. We've talked about your great organization. Let's talk a little bit about, maybe you could touch upon the Immigrant Seniors website.
Yeah, like we belong to like the Kerby Centre, and also like some of us, like we actually have the Immigrant Senior website. It's really a cool website. It's been in place for a few years.
Yes.
It's the www.immigrantSenior.ca. I think they have 9 languages in different topics, like something like bring your parents over, a lot of financial benefits, housing, everything that you can expect it. So and I think that is a great website that with also resources too. So I think you can, like, everyone can use it, and then you can refer your friend who is in a particular language that they can watch it too, like to see it.
And we have people from overseas using this website. People that were saying, we want to come, and what should we doing? And this is a great website. And the nice thing is it's very senior friendly. It has the fonts in large size, and it's a great resource for immigrant seniors to use. That's and their family members too. Yeah.
And I think because like we understand that some of the immigrant seniors have really limited English capacity, so that's why the whole English version is written in plain language.
Nice.
It's actually very good, and then they can learn the English as well, by watching the website.
Oh, that's great. That's wonderful, actually.
We are so grateful that Kerby's still taking care of the website and making sure it's still running. Yes.
It's an important collaboration that we make sure that we're touching into all the communities that make up the great city of Calgary. And so we're pleased, we're overjoyed to have that. That is actually funded by the federal government, and so their support is really, really appreciated, so that we can keep that information flowing in many different languages. That's just so important. I wonder too if you could talk a little bit about work opportunities. How does that work for older adults and work opportunities?
I actually, some of my seniors still quite active looking for jobs, but because of the language barriers, a lot of them are doing some neighbor job like cleaning, but I think they really take it very seriously, even though it's labor job, because a lot of the seniors are in high position in their home country, being doctors and engineers, but they think they take pride to do the job, because like they say in Canada, everyone is equal, and then if I can earn a living, I'm really proud of it. So I think although there's a lot of barriers, they still can find some jobs that can suit their skill set.
And I think we did some focus groups, and some of the seniors were saying that, again, the Canadian experience, not having Canadian experience, not recognizing their credentials. They come with some great skills, and even for volunteer opportunities, there's not enough. So I think that's something we need to focus on a little bit more, creating employment opportunities for immigrant seniors, as well as seniors who want to work, as well as volunteer opportunities, because they want to volunteer. They were asking, where do we find volunteer opportunities? How do we find volunteer opportunities? So looking at something at a different angle for them, that would be great. Yeah,
it can be more creative, like just not really focus on the language, focus on how they can do the job too. I think that is important. And also now some of the skill set they have is the language. Maybe they can help the people in that particular communities too.
Excellent.
Yeah.
The other thing is that the city of Calgary is divided into 5 regions, I believe, with 4 agencies providing services through a collaboration called The Way In. And I wonder if you could just briefly tell us a little bit about what the function is of The Way In.
Yeah, the 4 agencies that you talk about is my agency, the Calgary Chinese Elderly, it's the Calgary Family Services, the Calgary Senior Resource Society, and also the Jewish Family Services. And we have about 30 to 40 social workers all over the city, serving the whole Calgary. And actually, I think in the context of immigrant seniors, we actually have a partnership with the ECCC that we have an elder brokers program that, like, the elder brokers is also seniors that from different communities that they link us up with the diverse population, with the service coordinators that work for The Way In.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's actually no matter where you live, so we will have someone that can help you.
That's great.
And they do use over-the-phone interpretation. So
that's right.
Yes, that's
right.
great.
Yeah.
So if you're an older adult and you're in Calgary, there's a lot of options out there for you to seek out some supports, get connected, and really join in the Calgary life, no matter where you're from. Would you say that's fair?
Yeah, and I think that, like, senior may be not very active to seek resources. I think as all of the audience, that you have a role to help the senior to get what they want.
That's fabulous.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. That wraps up this segment of Kerby Centre Successful Aging. Thank you so much to Sybil and Lisa for joining us here today. They've actually really added a richness to this conversation. Kerby Centre is there for all people. We provide a variety of services in a variety of different languages, and we're there for you whenever you need it. Our website is kerbycentre.com, and we're on Facebook and Twitter. Please take care and come and see us soon.